there's a news story that circulated a few days ago about a young man who, a high school student from East Ridge, and it reveals details of his arrest. He decided he did not want to play ball. He was dragged by the hair and by his knapsack by a SRO officer.
Yo, I saw that.
It
I
was
saw that video.
it was only like about, I want to say 13, 14 seconds the most. But as a result of all of that, a whole lot of things are being unveiled. So an affidavit was obtained that reveals more details about the arrest caught on video, where a Hamilton County SRO pulled an East Ridge student by his hair while trying to take him into custody. The affidavit says that the school's gym coach contacted the SRO, Tyler McCrae, to assist with an aggressive student identified as Tora Sledge. The coach had planned for a kickball game, but the affidavit says Sledge refused to participate and said he was not feeling well. But when it was free time, Sledge started playing basketball. When the coach addressed him about this, the affidavit said Sledge puffed out his chest and called the coach racist and other names. The affidavit says McCrae showed up while Sledge was loudly and aggressively arguing with the coach in front of the students and other administrators. The affidavit also said that he put his hand on Sledge's shoulder, asking him to calm down so he wouldn't have to arrest him for disorderly conduct. He then bladed off towards SRO, and according to the affidavit, he said, "You have 5 seconds to get your hands off me." He walked away. This is Sled walked away, and the affidavit said SRO asked him several times to come back, but instead he sat on the bleachers with his backpack. It went on. He grabbed him. Of course, he was resisting arrest. He put his hand behind his back, handcuffed him. He then took him to the bottom of the bleachers, where he says in the affidavit the Sled refused several times to remove the backpack so he could put the handcuffs on. So literally, he dragged him by his hair and the backpack. So, what is happening here is that a lot of people are like, was he wrong for shouting and all of that? Even if he was wrong for shouting, it gave nobody the right to pull him by the hair and to pull him by the knapsack. You understand? Now, how they handled the whole situation is still a student. The students are going to act out. I'm not saying that they're right for acting out, but for you to drag him by the hair cannot be protocol. It cannot be right. And as a result, a whole lot of backlash is happening because for the student to start calling out these people as being racist, right there and then, it kind of plants the seed in your mind. Is this a racist institution? Is this a culture? And we're going to continue with some more, but let's open up the phone lines for people to just talk about this if you've heard it. We have a few minutes to go before the top of the hour, and then we're going to show you what ensued after the event. But Stacey, what are your thoughts? Did you see the video?
So I saw the video. And do I think it was excessive? Yes. I think it was excessive. Do I think that the boy is disrespectful? Yes. Do I take into consideration the human factor? Yeah, but you're trained
Exactly.
in this area to respond to those negative reactions. Name calling, you are a professional in that. That is what your job is. So you should be able to cope better. Him grab the brother by him here and fling him down, right on the bleachers. Now, do I not say that he's incensed by the way the child responded? Of course I do, but I do think it is excessive.
So let us look a little bit about what happened prior to. So they asked him to play a game. He did not want to play that game. So he said he don't feel well. Who knows? Maybe him never feel well for true. Maybe him feel like a better afterwards and then him go play basketball. So the fact that they see him playing basketball, they're like, how comes you say you don't feel well and we want you to play this? Do kids have choice as to what kind of activities they engage in or no? I don't know. I'm not in the school system. How does that work?
What do you mean? Does a child have a choice?
So apparently they wanted him to play kickball, but he never want to play kickball. He want to play basketball. So when there was a break, he went now and go play the basketball that he wanted to play.
As far as I know, is a gym class. No, I'm not choice. That's what the class is calling for today.
So if he says, how far fetched is it that him never feel good at this moment, but then him feel better?
It's not far fetched.
Or maybe him
However,
don't like this game and him not feel good, but he's motivated by the other one that even though him not feel good, him still feel like him want to play that. I'm just saying, does that give them no right any at all to call somebody because he don't want to play a game?
in the moment, right? In the moment, if somebody, you get a feel, if you're in the room and you're talking to somebody, you get a feel for, that brother, you feel all right, say him all right, and him just say, him not feel good because he doesn't want to engage in that activity, right? However, is it plausible? Of course it's plausible. Of course, absolutely.
And the worst part about it?
I go contradict myself. Them pick me, I ain't sense your body, I told you, don't put me to teach your child. I drape up your picnic. I go jail. I'm going to be the first one to say, Kiba, don't laugh. It's a fact. I know my sphere and I know what I'm not capable of dealing with. I go drape up your picnic and go jail. All right? You are a trained professional in this scenario. You should be prepared for anything the picnic throw at you. Literally. But I do say that there is some degree of possibility that, maybe him never feel good before, I know him feel good afterwards. Depending on the response or on the response that the child say, me say Pitney did feel fine the whole time and just never want.
And he did cuss them out good and properly.
So you know what,
At the top of
your
him
belly
lung.
stop hurt and all of a sudden now your cuss out ability is back, right? Half hour later.
And the part that gets me even more is that he was literally walking away. He's walking away and they're calling him. So I think it's just anger at that. Like, but look at that like a picnic, may I call it like a picnic and him now and come. And him just go and just, it's out of anger.
Put yourself in the scenario. Me personally, born and raised and go to school at Jamaica, any picnic where I walk from me, Father,
no,
God, forgive me.
May I make him walk, May I make him walk?
You're going to make him walk. My personality, who y'all walk from picnic?
Yeah.
That's me personally.
Because,
however, again, you are trained.
Exactly.
You
let him walk because there are recourses that are available. Are you going to risk your job? You're going to risk your career because of an insolent child. You have to deal with these kids every single day. So me make him walk off and then me go report him.
Taki, Russell, you don't say it already now. Stacey, please don't become a teacher. I've said it. It's not for me. I'm not a trained professional.
I would let him walk.
But the trained professional should know, especially now, bite your tongue. Eat that one and turn and just gain your composure and just say,
man, I'm not. It's like
it was excessive.
It's like if you do that, you give them the power. Me, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it and make them get me in trouble.
Hey,
and you know what? You say these things sometimes because you're not in the situation. We don't know what situation they were in. But I also think that there was a culture of racism behind the whole scenario.
Right. So we've seen that. And in that same jurisdiction.
Yes, and he has said it. I want you to take a listen to this.
The arrest report and the body cam video reveal this started as a disorder between a student and the PE coach. When the SRO stepped in, the situation escalated. And when I spoke with the former teacher and officer, they both agreed that the situation should have been handled differently.
See, he's 18 years old, and he's talking to the officer like that. That's wrong. You're supposed to respect the officer, and the officer supposed to respect him. It's a two-way street. Just as simple as that.
Napoleon Williams is a retired police officer. Williams says when he watched the body camera footage, the situation should have been handled differently. Williams says the PE teacher and SRO should have let the boy sit and cool off. And former teacher Kendra Young says in her years of teaching, she knows when an SRO should be involved in a situation. And she says this was not one of those.
The officer should not have been involved in the situation at all.
Young says SROs should only be called for emergency situations such as a threat to the school or if a student imposes a threat to themselves or others. Young says in this incident, a teacher should have handled it because it was a disciplinary issue rather than an emergency.
The adults in the room are what escalated the situation. And it looked to me like they triggered, the students' fight, flight, or freeze response.
In the last hour, Hamilton County Schools told us they are
agree
taking
that
steps
the
based
situation
on what
should
they
have been
know
handled,
about the video and
handled differently because
Right.
it's a trained individual. But like I said, John know me, boy, me, the picnic, the officer, everybody I go jail.
So right now, things that are brewing in the background, apparently there is in fact some sort of a culture of racism.
Okay.
That right now, the Chattanooga, Clergy for Justice is asking HCSO for the immediate removal of the SRO at East Ridge High School.
So it's in Tennessee? This is where this happened?
Yes, in Tennessee.
Okay,
Yeah, Hamilton
all right.
County in Tennessee, involving the recent arrest incident. So they're also asking to meet with HCSO and a DOJ representative to discuss charges to the department, use of force, and also their hiring policies. So it seems to me, from what I've read, that they seem to have a systemic way in dealing with these situations that is negative, and also exhibits racism. This is probably why this child said this. Like, whoever this coach is, they seem to have, some sort of, probably even a history. And they just decided today is that day that I'm not going to do what you say, whatever. And now that you're coming at me, listen, he's...
All right. So stick a pin right there. See, that changes the narrative. Because if it's from a place of frustration with past... That
Exactly.
puts a whole different twist on the whole story now.
Right. That's why I said there was a deep-seated thing. And that prompted me for us to research more into it when the child said racism. Like, you're a racist. Like, I would say, in the middle of that altercation, why would you utter that? So it seemed to be a culture
something that's
that
going
is
on in
there.
the school that's not only with him but with different other students in the
And the officer, I'm Virgin, so I'm just calling Virgin for say, listen, hey, that little young boy, come on, go on, so come present yourself, even though it was not protocol. So
you're gonna call an officer to discipline a child because he doesn't want to do PE.
That don't even make sense.
Right. That doesn't make any sense. Yes, the kid, he got unruly, but it seems like like you're saying, there's this culture going on at this school, and he just probably was fed up and it's like, you know what, today's the day I'm not taking. I'm gonna fight for whatever rights I believe I have.
I know me hear that. No, I hear that.
But there is a way to handle situations, right? As a child, right? You know. But I guess in the heat of the moment, when we're heated and you're in the moment, sometimes you're not thinking, right? And you're just reacting off of your emotions.
By no stretch of the imagination was that it was his reaction for a trained professional.
Oh yeah,
condone.
No,
definitely.
Trained professionals working
Definitely
in
not.
school,
Right.
there's way
All
protocol.
no training and no business and get easily incensed like myself.
Then you don't need to be a teacher. Oh, you don't need to be working in a school then.
Me a young coat piece of hair. Jano, me just thought the truth, right? However, if it's from a seat of frustration from past racist habits,
Then you
tendency,
see.
then now me as a parent, right? I go look and say, no, sir. But especially parents, I'm begging and pleading with you, no. Be true to your child's temperament and your own. If you know this is out of character for your picnic to that, look and say, but why? What has led to this? If you know, say, your picnic character, your picnic is a dirty bungle too, to thine own self be true. And say, Pickney, what you do that for? Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a time when you have to be real about the situation. If we're talking about racist tendency, then now me really I go look and say, what about this when this is that? What about this and this? What happened last month, last year, last week? And then there needs to be a deeper investigation there.
Right.
And
Well, I
because
hope-
they have to be held accountable.
Well, I hope they address the situation. I hope this, leads to a
Well,
bigger,
it's already in the justice's office.
There
So
you go.
obviously
So-
they're taking it
And
seriously.
There you
rightfully
go.
Yeah.
so.
There you go.
And also the students, by the way, had a whole protest.
Good.
They had a peaceful protest
Good.
against the whole system.
Great.
So, it's left to see what's going to happen, guys. We'll update you on that because it's an interesting convo to see what's happening and to see how our young people are dealing with it. They did it responsibly.
I have a certain producer that is talking to me on my chat. I call him out. Boom Rich, big up yourself. We just had him in the studio last week with
Boom Rich.
Yeah, with Richie Steven and yo, by the way, the song double for the first time. What hit number one twice?
Reverse the Curse, yes.
Reverse the Curse. Richie Stevens, big up your blast itself.
Yeah.
And I'll go on and him say me sound like me's a badass. No. And thank you for downloading the app. Whoop whoop. That's your top. What I watch
Big
things.
up yourself.
It's not that I am that. I'm just saying I think there is a deep trench being built between respect and young people.
Right.
That's all I feel. And I think we need to bridge that gap with that word respect. However, if there is racial things in the background here,
Yeah.
they need to be addressed first and foremost.
And I want to say big ups to those students. But not lie. Big up to them. They acted like the adults in the room. I'm going to say figuratively, because after everything that happened, they could have gone, they could have done it a different way, but instead they did an orderly protest outside. And of course, everybody, was saying, "Listen,
Good for them.
kudos
Good
to
for
you."
them.
Yeah, there's different ways to do things, and sometimes the diplomatic way gets you much farther because here's it gone to the seat of the justices. You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
hopefully some changes will be made if that's
well,
true.
the clerks. You may have said the justices, the clerks. Whatever office. So to me, they're doing the do.
Their due diligence. Yeah.
Yeah, big up to them. Big up to them.
Big up to them and big up to the people in the chat room.
Yes.
man. Big up to the people in the chat room.
I love it.
I love it.
Russell, me and you are look for different job. We now go Department of Education today.
We want more music though. We can't get more
Yeah.
music.